Alright guys, today we're going to be working on this 2013 Nissan Altima. It's a 2.5 4-cylinder. It's been running a little rough. It'll still crank up. Sometimes it won't really move. It'll just cut off. The check engine light came on the other day, so we're going to put the code scanner on it and see what it has to say. Alright, so we got a P0300, which is just random misfire, which is going to come up anytime you have anything wrong. The other one is P0014, exhaust cam position timing over advanced bank 1. Of course it's bank 1, it's a 4-cylinder. So this has variable timing, and there's a solenoid somewhere on the exhaust cam that will advance or retard the cam based on what the engine requires. Alright, so obviously this is the exhaust side, and the cam runs right about there. So I'm guessing solenoid is somewhere up underneath there. Looks like we are going to possibly have to support the motor and take this motor mount off. So let's get after it. Alright, this turned out to be more of a project than I anticipated. I got to the solenoid and I got the bolt loose, but I could not get to the solenoid enough to get it out. So what I ended up having to do was remove a whole bunch of stuff, and I'll walk you through all that. Alright, now you can see that's the intake solenoid, that's the lock solenoid, and that's the exhaust solenoid. I was able to get to the bolt, the hold down bolt, but it was a super pain in the butt. I got the connector off, could not twist this, so I ended up having to take the top motor mount off, the lower motor mount off, but to get the lower motor mount out, I ended up having to take the power steering pump and all that out, reservoir. There's a bolt holding the power steering in right there, but you have to access it from the wheel well. And then there's a bracket there, and a bracket there, and part of the other bracket goes here, and a couple holes here. And I'll show you that. It goes something about like that. Those two line up. Those two, that one there, and that one there. If I had to do this over again, you can either jack the car up and put it on jack stands and remove the inner fender well and get to it from down there, or I would have turned the steering wheel to get this tire in so I could pull this cover down some more to get to the bolt that's way up in there. Either way, we got to the solenoid, and I'm going to pull that out and we're going to test it and see if it's bad. I do have a fresh oil change on here. The oil's full. Also, to get the motor mount out, I tried to take this motor mount loose, and as you can see, the engine moved a little bit because that's supposed to line up with that. I was trying to get this whole thing out, but this bolt won't come out without taking this bracket off, and this bracket goes all the way across and it's bolted in several places. I did not want to do that. So now let's get this solenoid out and get it tested. Alright, so now we're going to take our power probe and two terminals in there. We're going to hook positive to one and negative to the other and see what we have. I don't think, since it's just a 12-volt solenoid, I don't think polarity matters, but we're going to try it the other way also. Nothing. So we have verified that this solenoid is not clicking, putting 12 volts to it, and nothing. Normally the plunger inside right here would move that way, and what that does is oil will come in here, and as this moves it lets oil go out the other passages and it will advance or retard the exhaust cam. So we'll be getting a new one of these. So what I did is I pulled one of the other solenoids to make sure my testing process was proper, and this is obviously a good solenoid. So I'll be ordering one for the exhaust and getting it in, and we'll put it back in and hopefully we can get the car running again. Alright guys, full disclosure, I took the exhaust solenoid out, no problem, tested it, it was bad. I went to take the intake solenoid out to test it to make sure my testing procedure was proper, and it actually broke when I was trying to get the solenoid out. So the solenoid I tested was what's called the stop solenoid or the lock solenoid. So I ended up having to order two solenoids, put them back in, put everything back together, button it up, top the power steering fluid off, and everything was good to go in the car. The code's cleared. The running issue went away. It runs
really good. So thanks for watching.